Senior Connections, your weekly source for information, tips, and strategies on senior issues to help you age gracefully with your host, Janet Halliday, and financial advisor and parent care expert, Dr. Kevin Skipper.
Good afternoon and welcome to Senior Connections, your source for events, news, tips, and strategies from retirement to parent care. I'm your host, Janet Halliday, and welcome our new co-host, Dr. Kevin Skipper. He is the financial advisor here in Columbia.
Good to be with you.
Kevin, welcome to the show.
Glad to be with you.
Now, I know that a lot of people should know and are familiar, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, we've been a financial advisor now for over 20 years, which you do it long enough, then you're considered a senior. And so we do a radio show on 100.1 News and Talk every Saturday at 12 noon. And we help clients with investment and estate planning. And glad to be on the program to meet some of our seniors and to help them learn more about how this complicated world works sometimes.
And to help me too. You know I'm not a numbers girl.
Well, we've got a great program lined up today.
Yes, many of you are watching worried about how to pay for your prescription drugs. You're wondering how you can pay for home care. You're on a fixed income, that sort of thing. And today we're going to have Larry Reed he's going to talk about a reverse mortgage, and maybe that'll help some of you.
Very important topic. And a number of you don't like this form. Form 1040. And some people, they came to retirement and they thought, I'll get to retirement and I'll pay less in taxes. Well, what do you need to know as a senior to do tax planning? CPA and author Stephen Kirkland will be with us, and we'll talk about how you can lower your tax bill in retirement.
And Kevin is going to tell us about how grandparents can help out those grandchildren with that college tuition.
And speaking of grandparents, congratulations to you. Have you told the audience?
No, I haven't.
You need to congratulations.
Yes, my first grandbaby, Hartley Day Richardson, was born on Wednesday, June 5th.
That is, congratulations.
And you're
expecting.
So
we're going to, my new first grandchild will be here in November. So a very appropriate topic for college education planning for grandparents. We'll talk about that today in the Financial Insights. So when we come back, we'll talk with Larry Reed about what you need to know about mortgages. You're listening to Senior Connections, your place to keep you informed about the strategies, tips, and news that you need to go from parent care to retirement. We'll be right back.
You may have seen actors on TV talking about reverse mortgages. Well, I am not an actor. I am Larry Reed and I live in the Midlands. For 7 years, I have been meeting face-to-face with older adults throughout the Carolinas and Georgia, supporting them to safely access their home equity with the federally insured reverse mortgage. So please call me. I'll help you understand the program, and then you can decide if a reverse mortgage is right for you.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble.
Help!
I could barely move.
Help!
I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
We save a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes. For a free Life Alert brochure, call 800-485-5621. That's 800-485-5621. Call 800-485-5621 today.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Enhance your mobility and independence with a van from All Medical. Choose from a Dodge Caravan or a Honda Odyssey and customize it for your needs. Whether you're slightly ambulatory or in a wheelchair, you'll enjoy knowing you can get around town whenever you want. You depend on All Medical to provide services and products to fit your lifestyle. Now call on All Medical to take you that extra mile.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help. Each patient has a team dedicated to providing emotional, medical, and spiritual support. At Heartstrings Hospice, we will ensure the time that you have together will allow you to be just her son and you to be just her daughter, because you shouldn't have to be anything else. At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help.
At Crescent Construction, we know your home is one of your most valuable assets.
We specialize in roofing and remodeling projects. Leaks, storm damage, and age are all signs you may need to repair or even replace your roof. We perform a 20-point certified roof inspection when most contractors do not. We can better identify issues that may result in further and more costly damage.
A roofing assessment is free, so call us at 781-1900.
We guarantee our team is professional, clean, and dedicated to your satisfaction. So call us today.
Are you or someone you love having difficulty getting into the tub for a bath or unable to stand in the shower? Call Comar Products today for help with safe, comfortable, independent bathing solutions. We specialize in products like walk-in tubs and roll-in showers. Our walk-in tubs feature hydrotherapy technology, so your bath is always warm and may even increase blood flow circulation and reduce swelling. Call Comar today to schedule your showroom appointment or visit us at 1759 Airport Boulevard in Casey.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. I'm Kevin Skipper, and you are?
Janet Halliday. And today we are talking about reverse mortgages. Many times you hear folks talk about, the cost of medications or that they're on a fixed income. I think today we have a solution.
Absolutely. And that is called a reverse mortgage. We're going to talk about what that is. And many of you out there have a resource that is right in your home that you can tap to pay these medical bills or stop the house payment that you can no longer afford. And so joining us is expert Larry Reed. He is a specialist in the area of reverse mortgages. And one thing we know about the senior generation as we welcome you to the program is that seniors are often very debt averse. They say, I worked all my life to pay my house off, and now you want me to do a reverse mortgage? How do you deal with that?
And it's interesting you say that, Kevin, because that question comes up quite often.
Yeah.
They're afraid of this. They've heard bad things about it. They really haven't wrapped their arms around this program, and yet the program is a way to free up that equity that they've created in their home and use it, and use it for the rest of their lives. So. And is another way I look at that is this group is some of them grew up in the 30s.
Yep.
And so they have that mental case, that they've dealt with. They've spent years paying down this house, and now they're still dealing with it. So it's a question that comes up quite often.
And one key point of the 30s was that mortgage laws were different back then, weren't they?
Absolutely.
If you owed on your house in the Great Depression, a lot of the banks came and took away your house. Those laws have changed now, haven't they?
Absolutely, yeah. There's much more protection in terms of a home, but the important thing with folks in this generation is they are debt averse, and that's not such a bad thing. Be careful about it, no doubt about that. But learn about this program. Don't be afraid of it. There's so much fear out there, so much misinformation. Take your time, learn about it, and then you can make a decision. It's your decision.
So Larry, who would be a prime candidate for a reverse mortgage?
It's number one, anybody over 62. But the situation is very personal. If they have an existing mortgage where they're depleting their assets that they may use to retire, those would be potential candidates, no doubt about it. If somebody wants to extend their Social Security until they're 70 so they can max the amount of monthly check that they get, that's an opportunity. So there's a number of different ways that this can come into play. Somebody that simply wants to use this program to extend their retirement assets for years, because there's a lot of research that has recently come out about ways of doing that. So that's a little bit more esoteric.
So let's say we got viewers who have never heard of a reverse mortgage.
Okay.
Give us a working definition. What do we mean when we say reverse mortgage?
Well, the simplest statement is it's a government program that allows an older adult to access the equity in their home. That's the simplest statement. Now, there's lots of pieces that go from there. It allows them to access that, and the keys to this program is if they qualify for it, then they never have to make a payment again. And the Hecum program, I'm going to try to use that word Hecum, by the way, because I'm trying to get away from that negative that the word reverse carries. So if catch me today using the wrong one, slap me, okay? Okay. But it's really, and the Hecum means home equity conversion mortgage.
Okay.
And that's what this program is called. That's the government name for the program, because it allows older adults to convert the equity in their home into cash.
Now, see if I understand it.
Okay, sure.
All right. We're used to a forward mortgage where you're the mortgage company and I'm giving you the money every month, all my life. And now I've given you all my money. My house is paid off.
Right.
I have a party.
Congratulations.
All right. Now, how does reverse mortgage work?
Well, that means that over time, I'm going to give you most of that money back.
Do you do it monthly or do you do it weekly? Do you do it one lump sum?
There's multiple ways of taking the money out of this program. You can receive a monthly check, for example, if you just need more cash flow. You can put it into a line of credit where you can draw it down as you need it. For example, emergency, a new air conditioner. This is one of the places it's there. Or the final one, you can take it all at once. The beauty of this line of credit versus the one that they may receive at the bank is the one at the bank, you're going to make payments every month. With this one, there's no payment. And the unused portion of this line of credit actually grows like a savings account. So it's going to get more and more and more.
Now, you can do this both monthly or you can do it in a lump sum. Is that correct?
You can take a monthly check, you can put it in the line of credit where you draw it as you need it, or you can take all of it at one time. Yes.
Well, here's something else I'd say to our viewers. There's been some scams in the reverse mortgage industry.
Yes.
So if you're going to check into a reverse mortgage, what counsel would you give them? I'd say, first of all, talk to someone who's reputable, like Larry, about the reverse mortgage. Is it okay to involve their kids and their other family members? Because this has far-reaching implications when you do a reverse mortgage.
I think it's absolutely a family decision. You know, some people say, I don't want my kids to know about it. Whatever their history is, that's not my business. But it's an important decision because it affects the kids maybe planning for this for their own retirement. So I really tell people, look, take your time. Don't just call somebody on the telephone and have them send you information and then have them call you about 3 or 4 times a day. Meet with somebody locally like myself or some other folks in the market. Sit down with them. Take your time. Get to know the program. Because once you understand the program, you'll decide if it's something that's right for you. Because it's not our decision. It's your decision. How's it fit for your situation?
Right. And that's what you got to look at. Is it a right fit for you? But at least you've got an expert, Larry Reed, to sit down with you and talk about a reverse mortgage and whether it's right for you. How would our viewers get in touch with you?
My phone number, I think, is going to be on the screen, but just call me. I'm here in the local market. I mean, the best way is my cell phone, 803 area 269-1053.
Okay, Larry, thanks for being with us today.
And stay with us. CPA Stephen Kirkland is going to be right with us after this break to talk about strategies for seniors and their taxes.
The subject we love to hate.
That's right.
We'll talk about it when we come back on Senior Connections.
Enhance your mobility and independence with a van from All Medical. Choose from a Dodge Caravan or a Honda Odyssey and customize it for your needs. Whether you're slightly ambulatory or in a wheelchair, you'll enjoy knowing you can get around town whenever you want. You depend on All Medical to provide services and products to fit your lifestyle. Now call on All Medical to take you that extra mile.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
You know, choosing a financial advisor is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. You're seeking out a person or a firm that you will entrust your life savings with. I'm Dr. Kevin Skipper. I've been a financial consultant for over 20 years here in Columbia. Our firm is Discipline Financial Management. Here's some questions to ask an advisor. How long have you been in business and what are your credentials? What's your investment philosophy? What is your sales strategy? Let us answer these questions and many others. Give us a call at Discipline Financial Management.
I'm calling North Point.
We'll be right there. Call 788-8081 when your system.
This does not work.
I can fix that.
We'll be right there. Call 788-8081 when your system needs repair. Think North Point Heating and Air.
I live alone, so when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, that's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center. where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 800-485-5621. That's 800-485-5621. Call 800-485-5621 today.
As large corporations continue to take over local businesses, Carnegie and Mosley Funeral Home is still family-owned and independent. They believe that bigger doesn't mean better, and people always come before profits. That trust is earned, not bought. The Carnegie and Mosley family has been serving families since 1884. Carnegie and Mosley Funeral Home. They are your neighbors, and you'll appreciate the difference.
What comes to mind when you hear the word taxes? It's probably not one of your favorite words, and doing nothing is not a good strategy. But today we have someone here that can answer your questions about taxes and senior issues.
You know, a lot of people when they retire think that I'm going to retire and taxes are I'm going to be in a lower tax bracket. I'm not going to have to pay taxes. Surprise, it gets more complicated and often stays that way. And so joining us today is Stephen Kirkland. He's a CPA, author of the book, America's Best Tax Strategies. And Stephen, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Kevin. Great to be here.
So a lot of people had this in their mind. They're going to retire and taxes are going to be less complicated, but must have been a CPA writing the tax law.
Yeah, it doesn't work out that way. No, it was an attorney writing the laws. An attorney writing the tax laws. Yes, it's very, very complex.
But you know, seniors are often surprised. This is one of the biggest questions I get. They retire and they have a certain amount of retirement income. They have their pension, and they discover that their Social Security check is actually taxed.
Yes.
How does that work? It's a surprise for a lot of retirees.
It is a surprise for a lot of people, just like some people are surprised that unemployment compensation is income. But yeah, Social Security benefits can be taxable. Now, if somebody has modest income, then there is no income tax on their Social Security benefit. Mm-hmm. But for a single person with income over $34,000 or a married couple with income over $44,000, mm-hmm. they have to pay federal income tax on up to 85%.
Surprise, surprise.
Of their Social Security benefit.
And they argue, well, wasn't that already a tax?
Yeah, it was
already
taxed.
Tax
yeah,
on another tax.
That's right. They could not deduct it when it was paid, and so it's really unfortunate that you have to pay tax on it when you receive it. The good news is that South Carolina does not tax Social Security benefits at all.
Mm-hmm. On the state level?
Yeah, on the state level. No matter how high your income is, South Carolina does not tax that. Mm-hmm. But if you're over that $34,000 or $44,000 level of income, then you're going to pay tax on 85% of your Social Security benefit to the feds.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the ways that seniors can lower their tax burden?
Well, fortunately, there are a few things they can do, and one certainly is to keep up with all of their deductions. It's very unfortunate, but we do see people from time to time who just don't keep up with deductible items, mm-hmm. particularly if they've had a large event in their life, like maybe they've sold their house and downsized, mm-hmm. or maybe had a death in the family, so they've donated a lot to charity, mm-hmm. some furniture, clothes, jewelry, things like that. If they keep up with the paperwork, then they can get a pretty nice deduction for mm-hmm. that. So the first thing I would say is record keeping, being organized is very important. Mm-hmm. Some people use software such as Quicken, but some of the seniors do not. Mm-hmm. But that would be the first thing that I would say. And the second step I would say would be to work with a tax advisor who keeps up with the complexity of it, the credits, the deductions, the exemptions, the mm-hmm. exclusions. It is very complex. Another step that's very popular is donating to the South Carolina 529 plan, which is a college savings plan. Mm-hmm. If they have grandchildren, mm-hmm. yeah, they can put money into the South Carolina plan and get a deduction on their South Carolina return. Mm-hmm. Then another important step is to be very careful about how much you take out of a retirement plan, mm-hmm. like an IRA or a 401k. Mm-hmm. If they're subject to the required minimum distribution rules, of course they have to take that out, otherwise mm-hmm. they're going to get hit with a stiff penalty. But don't take out more than that unless you really need to, because then you're just triggering a tax.
I actually had a client call me one December, and they were going on a trip to Europe, and they were going to take out a lump sum here. And I said, why don't you pay that from savings and wait till the first part of the year to take it out of your IRA? And we then were able to control the level of income. And those are little things that you can do to keep your income below some of those thresholds.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, there's some investment vehicles that have tax benefits associated with them, tax-deferred annuities, municipal bonds, that kind of thing. I don't give investment advice, Kevin, you do. But I give tax advice, and I can certainly tell you there are some tax benefits available to certain types of investments like that.
And how about, a lot of retirees, they begin to pay higher medical costs. Maybe their medicine has gone up, maybe some of their doctor bills have gone up, maybe they're paying long-term care insurance premiums. How do all those medical things fit into tax computations?
Yeah, that's a good question. If somebody has enough medical expenses, they can get a deduction for that. But it's a little bit bittersweet because on the one hand, I like to see people get a deduction, but on the other hand, I hate to see somebody have that much in medical expenses that they qualify.
Yeah, because it's changed this year, wasn't it? Didn't it go from 7.5% up?
Yes, traditionally you had to exceed 7.5% of your income to get any deduction for medical expenses. Now it's going up to 10% this year, so you have to exceed 10% of your income.
Wow.
However, there is a little break for seniors and those that are 65 or older. That increase from 7.5% to 10% doesn't kick in until 2017.
Now, can you give us an update on how the estate taxes are working?
Yeah, that's another very complex subject. But there have been some important changes there, and like I say, it is complex. I'd be glad to give away a complimentary memo that we have that summarizes the rules. But the bottom line is this: when someone passes away, someone representing their estate has to determine what they owned and what the value of each item was and their liabilities. And of course, you have to file that with the probate court and pay a little fee to the county where they lived. And then if it's a large enough estate, you have to file that information with the IRS as well and pay an estate tax that goes up to 40%, but you can leave up to $5 million to your family without paying any estate tax. And of course, what you leave to a charity or your surviving spouse is tax-free.
Yeah. Stephen Kirkland, our guest today, thanks for being with us.
Thank
you. And how can our listeners and viewers get in touch with you?
Well, they can reach me at Kirkland, Thomas, Watson, and Dykes, and the phone number is 771-0077.
And thanks for being with us. And when we come back, Kevin's going to tell us about that college tax that
for your grandchild.
For our grandchildren.
Our grandchildren. You're listening to Senior Connections. We'll talk more about senior matters when we come back.
Woodash is having a mattress sale. Why pay thousands of dollars for a Visco memory foam mattress when you can get a complete two-piece queen set at Woodash for $3.99? This quality mattress layered with Visco memory foam features a cool, comfortable quilted top for a comfortable, cool sleep every night. Highly resilient, highly durable, and best of all, at a discount price starting at just $3.99 for the two-piece queen set. For the lowest discount prices featuring Visco memory foam mattresses starting at $3.99, shop Woodash today. Woodash, located in the heart of the Vista, 919 Gervais.
At Crescent Construction, we know your home is one of your most valuable assets.
We specialize in roofing and remodeling projects. Leaks, storm damage, and age are all signs you may need to repair or even replace your roof. We perform a 20-point certified roof inspection when most contractors do not. We can better identify issues that may result in further and more costly damage.
A roofing assessment is free, so call us at 781-1900.
We guarantee our team is professional, clean, and dedicated to your satisfaction. So call us today.
Choosing a financial advisor is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. You're seeking out a person or a firm that you will entrust your life savings with. I'm Dr. Kevin Skipper. I've been a financial consultant for over 20 years here in Columbia. Our firm is Discipline Financial Management. Here's some questions to ask an advisor. How long have you been in business and what are your credentials? What's your investment philosophy? What is your sales strategy? Let us answer these questions and many others. Give us a call at Discipline Financial Management.
Attention, catheter patients on Medicare.
I use catheters, and if you do too, please listen carefully. There is a new catheter that hurts less, and you can get a free sample by calling this number now.
Pain and urinary tract infections have been avoided by many of my patients. These new disposable catheters hurt less. It's an incredible new design that reduces pain. The eyelets are polished, so they glide smoothly and effortlessly across your sensitive skin. Call now and get a free sample. Medicare and your insurance will pay for up to 200 of these catheters per month, all at little or no cost to you.
Call now for your free sample. It will arrive with a complete 90-day order, and if it doesn't reduce your pain, we'll pick them up for free.
Please call 1-800-394-8763. That's 1-800-394-8763. 1-800-394-8763.
I just had my first grandchild, and Kevin is expecting his first grandchild in
November.
And I guess that's going to make us seniors. So what should grandparents know, Kevin, about college tuition and helping out?
Well, a lot of our viewers know the saying that the only thing rising higher than the cost of a college education is the cost of not having a college education. So a lot of our viewers who are grandparents do have great concerns about their children's college education. What are some do's and don'ts that they should consider? Don't sign a note to go into debt for your grandchild's college education. Many don't know it, but some retirees today are in financial trouble because they sign notes and then their grandchildren quit school or they can't afford to pay it back. And so senior default rates on college loans is out of control right now. So those are some don'ts. Don't just give your money away to grandchildren who may not appreciate it. It's okay to help them, but what are some do's? How do you help them? One is called a 529 college savings plan, which you can go to futurescholar.com and get a lot of information. That allows you to get a state of South Carolina income tax deduction when you make the contribution. The proceeds grow tax-free, and then you can take it out and you can pay for it, the college tuition, and pay for the books in school and not pay any taxes on the growth. So you can also write the check directly to the school. Now, if you wanted to be a little bit biased, you could do what I told my children. You can go to any school you want to go to. I'll pay for Carolina. No, I love Clemson as well. But those are some tips for grandparents when it comes to planning for college education. Don't jeopardize your retirement at the expense of your grandchild.
Right. Great information, Kevin. It's so important. We know we love those grandbabies, but we have to be careful,
And
too.
congratulations to you.
And yours is on the way. And now it's time for our weekly giveaway.
Since we're talking about grandchildren, here's a book about teaching kids about money. One is well said, if you don't teach your children about money, then you get to support them. So here's a book from Kiplinger entitled Money Smart Kids. So you can take this and read it at bedtime to your grandchild when they come to visit. And we've got a $25 gift certificate that we'll give to the 5th caller who calls this number, which is 739-4205. Get on the phone and call us right now and see if you win our gift of the week.
And how safe do you feel in your home? If you fail, who would you contact? And do you have a security system in place? And how do you feel when you're alone by yourself and you don't know who to call?
Well, Charlie Miles will be here in our next week's program to tell us about that, about security systems and how to protect yourself in the home. Also, next week, do you love the outdoors? I love to watch the birds. One of the experts in the area will be with us. Jim Kelly with Wild Birds Unlimited will join us next week and let you know what you need to know when it comes to bird watching.
And I know my husband is looking forward to that segment. He is a bird watcher, our whole backyard, and he goes to Wild Birds every week.
Well, if you have questions or feedback about Senior Connections, give us a call. I'm Kevin Skipper.
And I'm Janet Halliday.
And you're listening to Senior Connections, your source for the news, tips, and information you need to grow older gracefully. We hope you'll join us again next week.
Thanks.